Hi everyone, my name is Anastasia and this is my channel Afternoon Knitting, the place where I talk about all my knitting, and it was a lot since we see each other last time. I don't know even how to start this video. Okay, let's try again. I told you a bit about myself in some previous podcasts, and since then I realized that it was wrong way how to film these videos, because I tried to do everything right, to not doing any mistakes in my English, because I'm not native speaker, and I realized that it's not me. In my real life I talk very fast, my speech is very fast all the time in Russian, and in English when I editing a video I realized that I can't even recognize myself in these videos. It changed myself, you know, when you're filming in other way that you usually do. So I decided, okay, I just tried to sit down and make this video as it is, with mistakes, with forgetting some words in English. I took my laptop and we'll translate some words if I completely forgot them, but I won't be perfect. So let's try second time to start this this channel about my knitting, and not only about everything I crafting and doing, because it's my passion and I really want to share with you, because now I'm living here in US and I want to share and to find some crafting and knitting community here as well. By the way, it were big changes from the last podcast on this channel, because we moved from Texas to Colorado State, Colorado Springs. We live in Colorado Springs right now, and it is one of the best decisions because, as I mentioned in previous podcast, that I lived for 30 years. I have lived in Belarus. It's East European country. And we had 4 seasons. I had 4 seasons, and I used to live in 4 season country, and I so missed snow and cold weather, these cold days, these freezing days, and now I'm so enjoying them. I enjoying all my knitting stuff, all my knitting accessories, hats and mittens, and I'm so inspired by this place and this weather and this vibe of this state. That I think it's improved my knitting and my crafting general. And finally I decided, okay, I will try to make 12 video in this year. So I will try to publishing 1 video a month in the beginning of the month or in the end of the each month of the year, and talk about everything I finished previous months, I started, all my acquisitions, my plans, and we'll see. The one thing that I absolutely know that it will be easier for me just to sit without any preparation, without any lot of thinking how to say this and how to show this. Just do something, and maybe it will find some place in your heart, and it will be interesting for you as well as for me. So let's get started. I want to start this video from this sweater. I think I showed it. I can't even remember what I show you last, but I think this was a process in the last podcast. This sweater I knitted using 2 strands of yarn. It's Lana Grossa yarn, Ecopuno and Setasuri, and I just in love with this combination. I'm really fan of alpaca yarn. In the same time, I don't like any mohair garments. I realized that it's still very scratchy for me, and or I didn't find some soft mohair, soft enough for my skin, because I always feel it on me, especially in these sensitive zones, this tummy zone and elbow, inner elbow zone. I feel it and it's scratching me, and I don't feel comfortable in this garment. But Suri alpaca, it's something another. Suri alpaca, it's some kind of animals with this long hair, and it's very small amount of such animals comparing with other alpacas in the world, about 5% I think, and their wool, it's very long but in the same time very thin, soft wool. And I feel it's another way than mohair. Just try. If you don't like mohair yarn, try Suri alpaca yarn. I have even this skein near me. It looks like it's actually very similar to mohair yarn, and as I remember, this yarn, the same is combination of Suri alpaca and silk in the very similar metrage, so really good alternative to mohair yarn. And the second one is Lana Grossa Ecopuno. As I remember, it's half alpaca and half cotton. Very unexpected combination, and I really enjoy this combination. I'm not the fan of repeating some patterns of some yarn or yarn combination or some particular yarn, but if I would try this one. Very popular gauge, so you can find a lot of patterns in this gauge with combination of these two yarn. It's very light, very fluffy, very warm, but not very sweaty, you know. Really good. I'm so glad with this sweater. I think it's one of my favorites. I knitted it without any patterns, just top down. And I have some small like mistakes in my construction, and the front part is shorter than my back, and when I'm standing like side to you, you will see that it jumps a little bit, but it doesn't disturb me at all. I really love the color, the texture, the feelings, the warmth of this sweater. One of my best garments ever, and honestly, I'm proud of creating such a thing. It looks really easy and very simple to create something like this, but I like how my neck looks like, and I love this wide, long ribbing here and in the bottom. I'm in love. Okay, so now let's get started with my finished projects, and then things in progress, and then I will talk about my some plans. So I finished previous months, I finished 2 scarves. I know it's not very interesting and very easy projects, but in the same time, it's something that my family lack. After we moved here in cold weather, I realized that I need more some neck accessories for my husband and for my daughter. So I started with scarf, we matches, for my daughter, with my daughter's scarf. And again, I knitted without any patterns. I just find some of this braid in a book I have, and combine it with this moss texture motif, and created this scarf. I use this yarn. It's not very expensive merino yarn, and I can really recommend it for you. Just good merino yarn. I can tell, that's it. That's all that I can tell about this yarn. It's more like smooth yarn, not very fluffy, but you can always add something fluff with another mohair yarn or alpaca yarn or even cashmere yarn. I don't like to use such expensive yarn in kids' wardrobe because you always have chance that it will disappear. It will be lost. Kid can forget it somewhere, so I don't like to use very expensive yarn in such accessories as scarf or mittens or even hats. But this one, perfect balance. So it's absolutely 100% wool, good wool. It is 50 gram, 105 meters. So I used 3 skeins of this yarn, and it was enough for me. It's quite long. I think it's about 1.5 meters. Sorry, I'm using European scales. I didn't use to all this. Okay, I always used to this Fahrenheit, but meterage, distance, weight, I'm still in European units. So yeah, 1.5 meters, I think. I don't remember if I have any photos on my kiddo. If I will find it, I attach somewhere here. But it's just regular scarf. We use it when we go to slides or to walk in the mountains. I don't know what to say about scarves. And the second one I needed for my husband. For a long time I wanted to try this yarn. It's BC Garn Semilla Melange, and on Ravelry I see that a lot of people using this yarn for color working, for like loppy sweaters or something like this. This Norwegian, traditional Norwegian sweaters, but I didn't have plans for this winter to need something like this. In the same time, I've heard a lot of good words about this yarn, and I agree with everything. It is 100% organic wool. It's quite thick, 50 grams, 175 meters, and recommended needles is 3.5 or 4 millimeter needles, and I need this scarf with 4 millimeter needles. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the color. Color is 04. As I remember, it was like antique black or just dark gray, something like this. So it's not deep black. It has this white, it's not like Tweety things, but something similar. You see, it's not peeling. It's some including in this black yarn, and that makes it more like melange. That's the name of this yarn, Semilla Melange. And it's so soft. It's incredible soft. For 100% wool, I was expecting something more scratchy, more like rustic yarn. No, absolutely not. It's like squishy and I don't know, like cloud-like. So very airy, not really fluffy. But you see, you can even read the stitches in this yarn. So when I hold it like back, you see some ribbing, something similar to ribbing, okay? But if you look at it closer, you can even read these stitches. That's how this yarn looks like and feels like. Really soft. Any complaint about scratchy from my husband? So I don't know how about your man's. My man can complain if something a bit wrong with it. He will say to me about this. So any complaints from him, and I'm glad to make such a garment for him. I have used almost 3 skeins of this yarn, so about 140 or 30 grams for this scarf. It's pretty long. I didn't use any pattern, but I can tell you that this is mistake ribbing. I forgot. I will link you a short video where you can see how to knit this pattern. And I made like I-cord edges, not in the ends, but in the process of the knitting. I knit these I-cord edges. Actually, the knitting of this garment, it's like very big sample. It's like you just knitting very long sample. No decreases, no increases, just pick up stitches, knit, and then bind off stitches. That's it. For my Russian speaking YouTube channel, I made short pattern how I was knitting this scarf. I can left you a link. I believe that YouTube creates subtitles and you can knit it scarf even using this video in Russian. If you need something more, just let me know. So I think we can finish with this scarf. It's not very interesting for me to talk about scarf as well as knit it, but it's something necessary in wardrobe of my family, and I always prioritize these things because knitting, I love knitting not because it's very interesting to work with, to learn, to work with different yarn and colors, but first of all because it's very useful hobby, very useful craft. I think that's it. My next finished garments, it's a pair of socks. And if you see my previous podcast, I talked about some similar socks and I showed it as a finished garment last time, and this February I decided to repeat this pattern, and of course I changed a bit it, you can see, and correct some mistakes and make my own pattern. I actually already have one pattern or Ravelry. It is bonnet, some head accessories that I really love in. I still think that it's one of the best accessories for not very cold autumn, winter and spring days. And I want to create another pattern because I'm a fan of knitting socks. I'm a fan of colorwork socks. This idea came for me last year to create some socks that will be knitting from the toe to the ribbing. Oops. My hair. And it started with these small heart shapes stitches. You know, when you knit, your knit stitch looks like heart, small heart. So you will start with your heart shaped stitches, and then these hearts are increased and became very large and full hearts. And I decided that this will be amazing gift for the St. Valentine's Day or just for yourself. It's so bright and so cozy at the same time. One thing that I changed, I use another main color yarn because my main color is light and a heart is needed in very bright and quite dark colors like fuchsia? Is it like pink? In Russian, fuchsia yarn. I don't know if it's right to talk about this color in English in this way. Okay, yes, it's fuchsia. I'm not sure that I pronounce it right. So this bright pink yarn and this classic red yarn, it is my contrasting color yarn. So in my first version, the main yarn don't cover these bright contrasting colors, and this is inside, and you can see it in these places where it's only main color. So I decided to take another type of yarn for the main color, and this yarn is I have a full skein. It is Isager sock yarn. It is 40 40% easy wash alpaca, 40% easy wash merino wool, and 20% recycled nylon. 50 grams, 193 meters. And it's much more fluffy because of 40% of alpaca yarn, and I'm a fan of alpaca yarn. This main color is a bit thicker and much more fluffy. That's why it covers the rest contrasting color much better, and the socks looks really great. Of course, you can use as a main color dark yarn, and your hearts can be in light, or you can even try to work with self-stripping yarn as a contrasting color yarn, and in this case you will be using only two colors, main color and contrasting color yarn, and your hearts will be in different colors by itself. I think it's a great idea. I would repeat it myself definitely, but for now I think it's enough. For this year I want to knit another socks. So yeah, when this video will be published, I think the pattern will be already available, and I left a link on this pattern in the box below. I think it's incredible. It's so beautiful. I have some photos me in these socks, so I attached the photo somewhere. Oh, and I forgot to say that the contrasting color is opal yarn, opal 4-ply yarn. I think it's classic sock yarn. If you never tried any sock yarn, start with something like this, opal or regia 4-ply sock yarn. It's just good sock yarn, you know. It wears well and washes well, so I think you should start with this yarn. And my last finished garments that I want to share with you, and something that I'm really proud of, it is Bruno vest. It's actually not finished, completely finished. I think you can understand why. I didn't wave all these ends just because I only finished it yesterday in the evening time. I washed it, blocked it, and it's almost dry, but not ready to try it on. So it needs couple more hours to completely dry, and then I finished with all these ends. It's my nightmare. I have to find some inspiration to do this, you know. But oh, it looks so beautiful. I forgot to take the yarn. Actually, I don't have full skeins of yarn, but I will show you a label. So this is like luxury yarn. This is Cardiff Cashmere. The most famous yarn from Cardiff, it's Cashmere Classic, and this is 25 grams and 112 meters. The color is 700, and to be honest, it's a long story of knitting of these garments, because I reknit it almost from the beginning. So I used a pattern, it's Moroccan knit pattern Bruno vest. I'm in love with this shape, with this construction, how I can combine this thing with my t-shirts, shirts, long sleeves and everything like this. And I dreamed to knit these garments in original yarn. She used Cardiff Cashmere in her pattern, and maybe same color even, I don't know, I didn't check it. And this yarn was gifted me by brands for my, again, my Russian-speaking YouTube channel. It was, I believe, in November, in the beginning, no, in the end of November. And absolutely, I started this project just after I got this yarn. And tell me how, from your experience, when you knitting something using pattern, are you always like checked your gauge in ribbing? Of course, we all make these samples to check if our gauge in for example, stockinette knitting is the same or very close to original to gauge of the designer. And I did it, of course. I know that my knitting is more loose than Moroccan knits, so I use 0.25 millimeter needles smaller, and in stockinette my gauge was absolutely the same. And I was thinking that if my gauge in stockinette is the same, my gauge in ribbing will be almost the same or the same. So I didn't actually check this on the needles and started to knit. If you're familiar with this pattern, it has like miles of twisted ribbing, and it's twisted in knit stitches and purl stitches. So it takes you so long to knit all these folded edges. You have folded neckline and armholes. Only your bottom ribbing is like one ply, but other you have to knit double length of these armholes or neckline. So I finished all this ribbing, and I saw that it was more looser than on designer, on the photos. But I was thinking that after blocking it will change, definitely. No. So I finished all garment and washed it, tried it on, and understood that it's absolutely disaster. It's don't really similar to with the photo, like it's two absolutely different garments. Then I check this gauge on my garment, my previous first time knitted garment, and it was different. I think maybe 12 stitches. So, for example, Moroccan knit has for example, 34 stitches in 10 centimeters in twisted ribbing, and I had 24. So, like two different planets, you know? That's why it wasn't something that I really wanted, and it's very expensive yarn, and it was gifted me by brands. Of course, I want to have like perfect thing, perfect finished garment, perfect finished vest. So I unraveled almost entire piece. It's knitted top down, so you start with this shoulder line. You knit part of the back, then you pick up stitches for both shoulders, and then on this step you make armholes. So I back to this step, unraveled armholes, unraveled this neckline. So I left only this part of garment without any edges, and started over. And yesterday I finished it, and took me more than 2 months. But in the same time, the first version was ready in December, so I finished in during a month. And of course, it vests. It's quite short. It doesn't have sleeves. It have to be knitted in a couple of weeks. But it takes me more than 2 months to finish this garments, and I don't have photos yet, but I promise to show you this vest on me in the next video. Tell me if you want it. I have like leftover yarn. It's quite a lot, but this all yarn in this, you know, small pieces, small skeins, something like this. Of course, I will use it in some accessories. I think about first layer in double hats, or first layer in double mittens, something like this. because it's incredible. I can't even describe you how I love this yarn. I don't have my vocabulary, my English vocabulary doesn't let me to talk everything that I want to tell you about this yarn. It's just something that you have to try. It's heaven, it's pure heaven. So soft, so light, so breathing, so fluffy, incredible soft, incredible soft. And I'm so glad to have something entirely made of this yarn. Can't wait to try it on and started to create some looks with this garment. The next thing, even next two things, I need to remind you that I'm a big fan of cone yarn. It's something like this. It's very fine yarn. And I know it's not something that you used to, but in our countries, in Belarus, in Ukraine, in Russia, and I think even Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, it is very popular yarn because you have incredible compositions for very small money, but it's really difficult to work with. It is true. To knit with this yarn, you need to understand yarn properties, be familiar with production progress, and to understand fiber that contains this yarn, because it behaves different way than a skein yarn. Most of the time you need to make big samples and to know how to work with this. And maybe it's not very interesting to listen about all these specific things, but in the same time I really love to use this yarn, and I use it in different projects as an additional to skein yarn, or combining two different cone yarns. It's another world, but it's very interesting and full of the experiments and different yarn blends and everything like this. So my next two process is made of cone yarn. First, I will show you a zipper sweater. I know that this construction reminds you a zipper sweater by Petite Knits. And actually, I started and I used this pattern for the first version of this sweater. But it's a raglan sweater, and knitting is started with a collar. So you pick up stitches and knit hold this double collar, and then you start to work with the raglan, and then work body, work sleeves, etc. And my first version, I stopped, I think, this level. And because of using cone yarn, it's very important to make washing and blocking in the middle of the process. So, for example, you finished first part of your garments, wash it. Just check that everything goes right and your construction didn't change and all sizes are the same, or something that you try to reach. So you need to check these steps. And I did it. My first version, I stopped, as I said, on this level. I washed it and it stretched really, especially in the collar. Collar became very wide for my husband. The problem is that the collar is first thing that you need. So I had to unravel everything and start again. And the second time I decided that I don't like the raglan that Petite Knit suggested for us, and I switched to another raglan sweater. It's Bibliophile, I think I pronounced it right. I attached you a photo and left link in the description. So it's another type of raglan sweater when you started with not with the collar, but with this line just under the collar. I think you understand what I'm talking about. And I like this raglan line. So it's not very straight. You have different parts of the raglan that is needed in different ways with increasing in different parts of your sweater. I think it looks more right on the man's body and gives you another shape and another ease between body and a sweater. And my husband don't like very wide, very oversized garments. He asked me about something more men's shaped. I think this pattern, this Bibliophile 3, is incredible. I saw so much beautiful ready things using this pattern, so I decided, okay, I will like combine these two patterns. So I took this raglan part from Bibliophile 3 and color and other steps of knitting from the zipper sweater light from Petite Knit. And now I'm on this step, so I finished raglan. Now I'm working on my body. I finished another skein of my yarn. I think I let body rest, and now I want to work on my sleeve to make sure that everything goes well. Again, I need to wash this and to check it. And I already finished this color. Now I think that it's too tight, but it is before washing and blocking. As I already know about this yarn, it became very loose, and like this yarn is very relaxed after washing and gives you more ease than before. I can leave you the link on this yarn. It is 100% merino yarn. It has 1500 meters in 100 grams, so it's extra super duper fine, and I use 6 ply of this yarn to knit on 4mm needles. I think that's it for today. Of course, it's very long process. It's again miles of stockinette knitting, but I'm enjoying it. I'm a big fan of just stockinette sweaters and garments. It's more something that you can occupy your hands by listening for something or watching something. I can work this fabric, don't even looking at it. Hope this thing will be ready in my next podcast. Oh, the second one sweater that I'm working on now. Again, I'm making using cone yarn. But if in previous sweater I used only one type of yarn, this time it's like fireworks of different yarns. It looks like this. So you have a lot of different skeins in different colors. The code name for this sweater is Pixel Sweater, because I knitted in... You see, I can't find right words in gradient color. Do you have something in English? So you start with the light color, and through different steps you go to the most dark color in your color work. Actually, you have just stripes of different color and different combination of this yarn. I don't use any pattern for this garment. It is a saddle shoulder. I have six stitches for my shoulder, and this pattern is similar to one of the sweaters to one of the pattern I use for my kids' sweater. I attached a photo of this. I don't remember name of this pattern, but it is Petite Knit as well, and I like how this sweater looks on my kids. And I understand that I'm not a big fan of classic raglan sweaters, but I think my favorite type of knitting and of the sweaters, how it shaped my body, it's saddle shoulder. So I decided to work on this project using this construction. I like the neckline. I think it looks very round and neat. And actually I like how it looks like. It's very, you know, fall color sweater. There are several things that I'm worried about. First one is size. As I said, when you use cone yarn, you need to wash your garment several times during the process of knitting. But in this time, I'm afraid to do it because I'm making so much changes during in the color, in the yarn combination, that I'm afraid to ruin everything by washing it every time. So I'm just now working on the body. I'm almost finished all parts before my ribbing, and I think to cut all this yarn before ribbing, then making one of the sleeve, and then wash this garment to understand on this stage that everything goes right. If not, I just unravel all this and don't start it again. It's difficult. It's difficult to realize, to understand how it will be looks like, and do I need something like this in my wardrobe? Do I really will be wearing a lot of these garments, and how to combine this thing with my other thing and wardrobe? So this is the project I have most doubts with. But in the same time, it looks great. Very fall vibes, yeah? This like autumn leaves. I like these colors, I like this combination of colors, but I'm really doubt in the finish garments. Okay, I'm starting to tired to talk in English so much. I think we have only one thing in process, and one thing that I want to talk about as my plan. In this basket, I'm so in love with this basket. I bought it last year in Texas, in HEB. If you're living in Texas, you know this. These grocery stores in HEB on the St. Valentine's Day, and I decided to take it with me in Colorado because my heart, part of my heart with Texas as well. So here I have very experimental, again, very experimental cardigan that I'm knitting using Basta yarn. It's Lana Grossa, and this season it's really popular because it's different, you know? It's half merino wool, half polyester, polyamide. Half merino wool, half polyamide. So it's like very, very fluffy yarn, very thick yarn. It's I can find, oh, it's 50 grams, 100 meters, and recommended needles is 6 millimeter needles, and I use 6 millimeter needles in this garment. Again, I knit it without any pattern. It's top down cardigan, and now I'm on this step. Oh, the color. The color is 005. I need it quite a long for now, just because I'm not sure about, again, like how I see this finished thing. It's one reason, the first reason, and the second reason just because I don't need this type of garment right now in my wardrobe. I think it should be ready for the beginning of the spring. You can't even wear this such type of thick cardigan under some jackets or coats. It's too big, so it should be like finished layer on you. I put this process on a stop for right now. I am planning to back with it maybe in February or March, somewhere in that period. Oh no, I forgot about one more sweater. I can find it. Yes, I have one more process, and this is kid sweater. Again, I'm knitting without any patterns. It's top down. I started with my back panel and then pick up stitches for both of shoulders, and now I'm working in a round. This is like full whole braid sweater for my daughter, because Actually, I tired all of these stockinette knit garments, and I really want to knit some texture, some braids and stuff like that. So I decided to make all braid sweater, but not for me, for my daughter. I'm knitting it using Drops Sky yarn. Again, it's alpaca yarn, 74% alpaca, 18% polyamide, and 8% of wool. So soft, it's so gentle, so fluffy, so airy, absolutely gorgeous yarn. Not expensive at all. I think I used about 1.5, maybe 2 skeins, I'm not remember, of skeins of this yarn. So I think for full thing I will need about 5, maybe less skeins. I think even less, maybe 4 skeins of this yarn. I don't know what to say more. Hope that I started right size, because I don't want to unravel all this work. It's braids, of course you work on each of them longer than just stockinette, and the length growing up slower than usual stockinette fabric. So I hope it will be good. Even it will be really big for her. I just let it in her wardrobe for the next year or in a year. I don't want to unravel all this thing. That's it. I think that's it for today with my progress and finish projects. And I have only one plan for the next month. It's again socks. I'm always have some socks on my needles just because I love knit socks. And after moving here, of course, the weather is much more freezing and cold, especially in the night time, and I prefer to sleep in socks. And my husband started to complain that he's always cold. he can't fall asleep because it takes time to get warmer, and I decided to knit some sleeping socks for him as well. And for this I have this gorgeous yarn. I will be using it in combination. I don't know yet how, but you will know this in the next podcast. So again, it is Lana Grossa. I love Lana Grossa sock yarn, but this yarn is special because it has 5% of cashmere. So it's 50 grams and 210 meters. I started to knit with this. I started to knit mittens, I believe, but then I understood that this yarn doesn't fit my pattern, so I choose some lace motif for my mittens, and they didn't like make friends with this yarn. And I have only one skein, and it's not enough for men's socks, so I took from my stash this yarn. It's Merino sock yarn, hand-dyed yarn, but I'm not actually remember what brand it is. So I planning to pair this both yarn and created very soft night socks for my husband. And that's all plans for next month. I think for me it's more important to finish something that I already have on my needles than to start 5 new projects. You know, I'm hoping you know what I'm talking about. I'm always ready to start something, but I'm never ready to finish something. And that's it for today. I hope you like this video. I hope you understand at least 80% of information I gave you. I still don't feel very confident speaking English, but in the same time, I don't feel like it will change if I just not start to do it. One thing that I started at is I have found craft meetings here in Colorado Springs in an old town, and I try to go on these craft meetings every 2 weeks and talk more about knitting and about just you know, these small talks and everything like this to improve my English. I want to say sorry in advance for all mistakes that I made, but I hope I will be waiting for your feedback, and I promise me to continue do this video during this year, and we'll see how it will be. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time in the next podcast. Bye.